I'm so happy to see you guys. It's been just a horrible week. Oh my God. I just want to throw a tantrum. It's been so awful. Sorry about Friday, but you know what? I faced the option of having to struggle along with that stupid hotspot thing again, using that little iPad thing that I have. And I just said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I just cannot do it. So I had to cancel because I was in a fucked up mood. And I have to tell, I don't know if she's here yet or if she's here today. Michelle, I was reading the comments from the last show and I noticed she said she noticed. And she's like, oh, Deb, is something wrong because you don't seem, your energy is off. And I was like, this girl is good because my energy was way off. And because I was just, I don't know, just decided me. I was just like all thrown off because I couldn't use my setup. And I'm a creature of habit. I mean, I welcome, embrace change and stuff, but it has to be change that I'm adjusted. I've come to accept and willing to incorporate, not like bam, just like that. I have to like shift gears, especially when it's something I have set up a specific way to perform specific tasks. So then, I had to go back to the drawing board. I was all kinds of messed up. And I tried to make it work, but by the second time, my attitude was bad. And then when I faced having to do that the third time, I'm like, I can't do it. Because you guys, it just would have been so obvious that I didn't want to be here. So everything's fixed. The little guy came this morning, and he was real nice, and he got everything working in about 45 minutes, and then he was like deuces. So I gave him a raving review on his service. You know how they do the survey, and I gave him a raving review. Thank you, Indigo. And yeah, one thing about it is since I couldn't watch Netflix and I couldn't play, well, I guess I could have played on my phone, but I was using too much data and I started calculating how much that was going to cost. And I was like, oh no, let me get off this phone. So I was going to bed early. So that's why I look so refreshed. I got so much sleep the last few days that I normally don't get. I usually am a 4 hour person, 4 or 5 hours. So I always come on the air with bags under my eyes and stuff and looking kind of rugged. But I've had, a good 8, 9 hours of sleep for the last few days. So I'm feeling all kinds of jiggy. So, but it's really glad to see you guys. I'm really glad to see you guys. And we are going to proceed with what I switched from Flummox Friday to call it Savage Sunday. Got to keep them letters, thing. So, welcome everybody who's here. All the new people, because I was posting this link all over the place. What we do is read advice questions that have been submitted previously. If you want to get your question answered on the show, look in the show description down below. There's a link that says get free advice. Just click it, fill out the form, and then it'll come to us and be considered for another, for an upcoming show. The next show will be on Tuesday. But yeah, don't you think a lot of the advice we give is kind of savage? I mean, because y'all be in on it too. Don't try to make it seem like it's just me. Because I go back later and I read what you say in the chat, and y'all be just ripping people. So we on the same page. Don't try to make it seem like it's only me and you sitting over there like butter wouldn't melting in y'all's mouths. That's just not the case at all. But let's go. Let me see. How many questions do we have? 23. Let me double check because last time she said 23, it was 24. She actually tricked me. Oh, see, she didn't even change. This is 21. We got 21 questions today. All right. Y'all ready? Yeah, Indigo, y'all, you be in there being Savage Junior. All right, let's start. This is question number one. A female in the 21 to 26 age group out of the UK. I've been living in a different country to my home country for the past 3 years with my boyfriend. Was only meant to be for a short amount of time with his job, but he ended up going permanent and we stayed. I've always been homesick and wanted to move back, and he doesn't. We have a toddler, and I am currently 6 months pregnant. Our relationship is not good. Can't agree on anything. He is not very supportive. I had postnatal depression with my first child, and I'm scared I will get it again with this baby. I want to move back and have the baby in my home country where I have more support as I have none here. But he feels I am taking our kids away from him and making him miss out on the birth. I need some advice. Well, I'm going to say this. This is easy. He's a mere boyfriend. Okay, he ain't your husband. And so essentially what you are, it's nice that you living with him and everything's all great, but A, your relationship is jacked up, and B, you're the one that's pregnant, and C, you're going to be the one having a baby, and D, you're going to be the one struggling with postpartum depression, and E, you're the one who needs the help because you're going to be the one, dealing with the baby and all this stuff. He's going to be working. That's just like 90% of husbands. The ones who take like paternity leave and stuff from their jobs are rare. So I'm gonna say this: you 6 months at a certain point, you're not gonna be able to get on a plane. I think it's right about now, and so I hope your country is close enough where you can take a train or something like that and just take what you need, and you can send for the rest later, and you leave and go where your mama and everybody else in your family is that can help you and support you so that you don't, if you do get postnatal depression, you'll be able to deal with it better and your toddler won't have to suffer. You see where I'm going with this? You have to think about your older baby, and your older baby's going to need support just like you're going to. Your boyfriend, as you say, he's not supportive. So staying there would put you in a situation where you already know you're going to be hanging on by your fingernails all by yourself. That makes no sense. Remind him that you are not married, that you are a single mother, essentially under the law. It's nice that he's living with you and all that kind of stuff, but you're not married. So he doesn't have the same pull under the law about that a husband would about having his child, there. He doesn't have those rights. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. And men need to understand that. Yeah, with marriage comes a lot of obligation and responsibility, but also comes privileges that you don't get as the mere boyfriend. So you call your family, you tell them you coming, you get your train ticket, you pack up exactly what I said, what you need, no more than 2 bags worth of stuff, a bag for you, a bag for the kid, and then if you can ship something ahead of time, go do that. Then you'll hop your ass on that train and you go home. Yeah, they do, especially not even just expecting, but once, you get to that ninth month and right after you can't even move. It's like I wasn't even that big. I exercised. I stayed in the gym until I was 8 months pregnant. So I didn't even look pregnant until I turned to the side. But I was, but my doctor made me stop going to the gym, stop lifting weights because when you're lifting, you go, and that bearing down thing. So she said, no, you got to stop. So I stopped at 8 months, maybe 7.5 months, something like that. And I could only do like elliptical and, some little light stuff on the machines and stuff like that, but nothing that was going to cause me to bear down. So there was no overhead type exercise that I could do, pulling things, pushing things, but light weights only. I had to do a lot of reps. But, that was that's how I stayed in shape. Plus, I walked 2 miles every day, rain or shine. I walked 2 miles. And so I popped my daughter out. It was like nothing. I jumped up and I was doing everything. And I didn't have it. I kept the exercise up as soon as I was able. And so I didn't have to deal with postpartum depression. And it was a good thing because she had colic and she screamed all the time. I mean, I was sad. I would cry when she cried, but it wasn't because I was depressed. It was just because of frustration of not knowing what was wrong and, how to make her stop and feeling sorry for her because, it's your baby. And she was so tiny and I didn't want her to be, upset and in pain and stuff. And so after I tried all my tricks and she was still screaming, then I start sniveling. And then so my husband would just be sitting there looking at both of us. It was so funny. I mean, in retrospect, it's funny, but at the time, it wasn't. So that's what, she's going to need that kind of support. So, girl, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him at all. You do what you need to do for you and your kids. Let's move on to question number 2. Male, 22, 21 to 26, from Miramar, Florida. Oh, I wonder where that is. I very recently decided to pursue a coworker. Not a good idea. I'm pretty sure she likes me just based off of her staring at me a lot and one of her friends at work hinting at her liking me. But I just don't want speculation and rumors. I want 100% confirmation that she likes me before I ask her out. So I decided to keep a close eye on her behavior at work and look out for hints on how she feels about me. Okay. Earlier today, I decided to do my first test. I usually bring a lunch from home and I always place it in our break room refrigerator, and so does my crush. I put my name in big letters on my brown sack lunch, and I figured that if she liked me, she would place her lunch right next to mine as a sign that she's into me. I put my lunch in the fridge, waited a few hours to go get my lunch, and then when I took my break, I opened the fridge, but I saw that she had placed her sack lunch on the shelf below mine. Now I'm worrying if this is a sign that she doesn't like me. If she likes me, wouldn't she place her lunch next to mine? Wait a minute. He said he's 21 and 26. 12. What does it mean? Am I just overanalyzing, or am I right to be worried about my crush not having feelings for me? Let me explain something to you, Mr. Adult Male in the 21 to 26 age group. You're being stupid. Okay, I can't even mince words and be polite. You're being stupid because you depended on a signal. I never heard of no shit like this. You depended on the signal of where she placed her lunch bag in the refrigerator to have like all this great grand meaning. Dude, do you know how crazy you sound right about now? Who does that? Why would it, who cares about that? When you open up the refrigerator, you got to get back to your desk. You're going to stick your lunch in wherever there's a space. I tend to like, I have a spot in the refrigerator at work, and not everybody knows this is where Deb always puts her stuff. So anybody who would be rude enough to put their stuff in where what I consider to be my space, I would politely move their shit to the side and put my stuff where I always put it. I'm telling you, I like a routine. And if I always have my lunch in this one spot, then damn it, that's my spot. And everybody who worked with me knew that was my spot. But you know, every once in a while you get a new person or somebody, a temp or something, and they don't know. So they're gonna put their lunch in my spot and I'll move it. But no, he's not a stalker. He's extremely immature though. He's extremely immature and he's judging things. I don't know. I can't even take my mind back that far. 12 maybe, middle school crush type of thing. And you looking for all kind of secret signs and symbols on on how if somebody likes you or not. I don't even know what to say. I just, dude, I'm on dude, stop this. If part of being a man is being willing to stand up and have the courage to do what you need to do, no matter how difficult it may be, how scary it may be, how challenging it may be. It's called having cojones. It's having, being brave. It's not being a coward. It's being assertive, and you're not showing any of those symptoms right here. You're being silly and childish. And so what you need to do is if you want to go and ask the girl out, you go up to her and say, I would really like to take you out on a date. Are you amenable to that? And see what she says. I mean, she might say, I'm dating somebody. She might say, I don't want to date anyone at work. She might say, no, thank you. I don't, I'm not interested. She got her eye on somebody else. I mean, there could be many reasons why she would turn you down. But so I don't want you to go and look at it like there's something innately wrong with you. You don't know what's going on in her life or how she feels. I mean, she might be gay. You don't know anything really about her, but all you know is what you feel for her, but you know nothing about her life. So to sit there and take it personally, like, she's rejecting you and, there's something wrong with her and all the stuff that dudes tend to like to do is stupid. Okay. Because she's a completely different person from you. You don't know what her story is. So, you ask her out and she says, no, thank you. Trust me, it could be any of those. She don't want people at the job all up in her business like that, all up in her mix. That would most likely be my reason, even if I was interested in a dude. I would not want to date anybody at my job. I would just suffer and, that I had to miss out on that opportunity or tell him he needs to quit if we wants to date so we don't work at the same company. But other than that, I'm not going to date a coworker. And there are a lot of people that feel that way, sir. So you have to factor that in. So you ask her if she's amenable to it and see what she says. Okay. And if she says okay, then you figure out where you're going to take her. Tell her, okay, I'll get back to you in this afternoon. And we'll, is any date and time, best for you? And then she'll tell you. And then you say, okay, I'll get back to you this afternoon with a plan. Then you walk off. You don't stand there hovering, looking all thirsty. You walk off like a G because mission accomplished. You got it? Yeah, indigo. He's like, yeah, she's driving behind me. And if she stops at the red light when I stop, then that means she likes me. Let's move on. That was question number 2 of 21. This is question number 3. Female, 26 to 29, from Downey, California. I really need some advice. I've been with my new partner only 2 months. I actually left my ex to be with him. It was a whirlwind relationship. We fell in love hard and fast, and he quickly moved in with me, and we went on vacation, etc. Well, eventually it came to light that my partner has a foot fetish. In every column, there's at least one. This isn't something I'd experienced before, but I wanted to make him happy, so I have tried incorporating this into sexy time. Everything has been amazing up till Monday. My partner has begun working away some nights, and on Tuesday morning, I got sent a message on Facebook from some girl. It was a screenshot of my partner asking her if she has any well worn shoes for sale. I was mortified and crushed. My partner immediately started pleading with me, saying he went to the pub and that this was nothing more than a stupid drunken text message, and we have argued the last few days. I decided that I love him so much to give him another chance, but I'm really struggling. I've asked him if I'm not good enough in bed, which he said was ridiculous. He was simply drunk and it was a mistake and that he will never hurt me again. I've always had trust issues and I'm not really sure I can deal as he will be working away again next week and going forward, I feel so low. How can he be doing this so early on in the relationship? To me, this is a massive red flag for the future. Should I leave? Absolutely. You only been with dude for 2 months, and he already moved in with you with his homosexual ass. Who does that? You barely even know his middle name, and you already got him living in your place. Kick that monkey out. Tell him to go take his freaky foot fetish on somewhere. This is just this. My thing is this. You got to understand this, girl. You just got into this relationship. Okay, the first 90 days is like the probationary period on a job. Okay, so you see that this ain't working out. There's some real conflicts here. You are trying to adjust your morals and values in order to appease him. So you're trying to be someone that you're not in order to please this man that you just met. And I want to ask you something, and you really need to think about this. Who are you? Who are you? What is it that you want for yourself and your life? What direction are you trying to go in? Why are you acting like a leaf being blown around all through the wind just because somebody says, "Oh, come here, let's do that. Go here, let's have that." You're going along with it. It's like you don't have a path of your own to walk. You're just like whatever somebody else wants, then you just gonna do what they want you to do. That is a sign that you don't really know who you are. And so I'm gonna caution you to stop dating until you can figure that out, until you understand what drives you, what you want for yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what makes you comfortable and what makes you uncomfortable. And then you date men that fit that. Okay. You don't go outside of your comfort zone, your moral code, your value system to please anyone. You find a man who's on the same track as you. Y'all's train is running side by side. That's the man that you want. This situation here is retarded. So you tell him, okay, well, I really thought about it and I really tried, but I think this is a major red flag. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be this person that you want me to be. I need you to get out. And then that's it. You don't even waste time asking him what he brings to the table. Just kick his ass out. His freaky toe jam loving self and all the freaky old shoe wearing and the smelling shoes and shit. I read about stuff like that and all these men with these weird proclivities. And I just be like shaking my head because it's really amazing how, you try to think about how do people get so fucked up? What happened to you in your life that makes you be into feet and old shoes? You know what I mean? I think about stuff like that. And I try to put myself in that person's shoes, and figure out what it is that made them like that. What could have impacted you so that you be all up into toe jam and toenails? And I mean, feet are not cute to me. I just don't think feet are that attractive. I mean, I like it when I get my toes done and all this stuff and put my little sandals on. I look and say, "Oh, this looks pretty," but it's not like I want to be looking at it all day and rubbing on it and sniffing it and having it walk on me and all this kind of stuff like these dudes be doing. I just this crazy. Oh no, really? Somebody that you know from Downey, California? Girl, if he was into that, you just never know. Because Downey, as I understand, is not that big. So you could be right. But they don't do, she didn't describe him age wise. She didn't even say his age or nothing. So I have no clues for you, Net. Yeah, I can't do weirdness. I can't do weird things. It's just, I can't. I can't even do using a hotspot for my show. So my limits is very narrow about any kind of weird, unusual things. Deb's not going to do it. Let's move on now. We have up to question number 4. This is from a female in the 36 to 42 age group out of Los Angeles. So my boyfriend orders from a local dispensary. Anyway, at first, a couple of random guys delivered and it worked out for him. He likes the place, so of course he keeps ordering from there. The last 7 times it has been a woman, the same woman. She's not really attractive in my opinion, but for some reason it bugs me. Like makes me very insecure. I don't know if it's just because she's the opposite sex or the fact that he doesn't plan ahead. So he has to order from this place multiple times a week, which gets the wheels turning. He doesn't really communicate with her for the order and what she delivers, he is out there for a minute tops. He's even asked me to go out and get it sometimes. I feel like I could be overreacting, but I mentioned it to some of my friends, and they said it would bother them too. And every time he orders, my whole attitude changes, and I get pouty. I know, grow up, but it is what it is. I guess the difference with food delivery or whatever is that's rarely the same person delivering. For some reason, the fact that this girl is pretty much the regular delivery person makes me feel like they will form some kind of relationship. I would like your opinion. 100% realize pouting is immature and unattractive. Nobody wants to pout. I do have insecurities such as my weight, getting older, etc., and my relationship is definitely lacking in many areas. One being that when we do have disagreements, my boyfriend has taken digs at my appearance. I'm not blaming him because I was insecure before I met him. It just hasn't helped the situation. Okay, so why are you with a man? You in a 36 to 42 age group and you acting like you're 16. Actually, I don't even know many 16-year-olds who act like this, but I think it would be more acceptable because they're so young and don't have much life experience, and so they're going to feel things a lot deeper, which teens do. A lot more emotional than allegedly mature adults. So you getting into a snit because of a delivery person, that's probably her job, like to deliver stuff for this place. That's what she does probably all day long. That's why it's the same person over and over, right? They hired her to make the deliveries. Bingo. All right, now, um, you are worried about your weight and getting older, and then you feel like your relationship is lacking in many areas. Okay, so what are you doing to address these fears that you have? Weight, you could do something about that. Aging, you could kind of slow it down and, take care of your skin and eat better and stuff like that. So to slow the aging process down is better for your health as well. But what are you doing? And then you're in a relationship with somebody who's lacking in many areas. For one thing, you with somebody who likes to be on drugs all the time. Even though they may be legal and stuff, it's still a drug. It's still a mind altering, mood altering substance. So, I know a lot of people say, well, I smoke and stuff, and I don't hold it against them. People do what they want to do. But that wouldn't work for me because I need a man who's fully there. Not trying to hide or run away from things or, put up a smoke screen and hide behind something. I just doesn't work for me. I've dated guys who smoked a lot, and it was just, that's how I know that it doesn't work for me because I had experience. So if you have that or you have a relationship that's not working, why are you staying there? You're dealing with something that you don't have to deal with. You're not married to this dude. He's merely a boyfriend, once again. Just like you got him, there's 500,000 up billion other ones that you could date. So you need to think about that. What are you getting out of this situation? How's it benefiting you? Even just mentally and emotionally. I'm not hearing anything. So you give that some thought. and then you make a decision accordingly. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's going to be on you. Question number 5, female in the 26 to 29 age group from High Desert, California. Hi, Deb and crew. My current SO blocked his ex a long time ago, and she keeps finding ways to contact him. She texted him while we were hanging out to say hey via text. He looked a bit confused, so I asked, "Who's that?" I wasn't trying to be possessive. It's just that his reaction concerned me. He shrugged and lied and said he didn't know. So he asked, and the name Melanie popped up, and he sighed the hardest sigh and rolled his eyes to the back of his head. And said, "I think it's my ex." Acting quickly in jealousy, I asked if I could text her from his phone. To my surprise, he shrugged and passed me his phone and said, "Just make sure you block the number after." So I replied to Melanie saying, "What you want, ho?" Oh, it's okay. She's like me. Eventually, it came to light that she was speaking with his current partner and mentioned that he used to screw her real good. Now I'm one to maintain composure and leave the past in the past, but my boyfriend has changed his number twice and she somehow gets it. I'm really pissed off. Maybe it was immature, but I went all out and told her about how good he gave it to me last night and said it was the best he ever had, and that's why he proposed after 6 months, which is true, but I did like you and I declined. Now I'm not concerned about him leaving or cheating at all, but knowing he has an ex that won't leave him alone really bothers me, and I don't want to play these games forever. What should I do to get her out of the picture for good? That's not really going to be anything that you can do. That's going to be him. But unfortunately, if he's changed his number twice and she's still getting it, that means he's giving it someone in his friend group, or even could be one of his relatives, is giving her his new number. That's what that means. So, you need to sit down and ask him, who is it that y'all know in common that keeps giving her your new number every time you change it? Whoever that person is, you need to get a Google phone number, and that's the number that you need to give to this individual so that that's the only number they have. And so if they give it to her, and she starts calling the Google number, that narrows it down. You'll know who's the culprit. And then, but other than that, there's really nothing that you can do. You put in a good bid by telling her all that kind of stuff. The only thing that I would have added to that is this: I would have talked about her. You talked about, you kept it to the bedroom activity. I would have been like, oh no, what kind of desperate dumb bitch chases a man who's not interested in her and who proposed to another woman? Bitch, you just not, you about the stupidest, dumbest, most raggediest, most desperate bitch I have ever seen in my life. That's why he don't want you, because you don't have no kind of self-esteem, no kind of pride, and no kind of nothing. What kind of man wants a woman who grovels and chases him like a desperate dog? I would have said stuff like that to her, because it doesn't sound like you really you didn't say anything directly to her about her behavior. You just talked about, you went into the tit for tat about the bedroom thing. Oh no, that was a starting gate. And after that, you're supposed to run a 2 mile lap around the track of "I'm gonna read you, bitch." That's where you should have been doing laps on her ass with that. So, that could be your next step, but then you do need to get him to change his number again, and then get him a Google number. And so all his friends should have that. And you can even set it up so it rings actually on his cell phone, but they won't have his actual cell phone number. And anytime he sees her number there, he never has to answer it, because it's just going to be, it's going to take a message. And then he can see this her phone number on the ID thing and just press delete. Or you could even block it from the Google thing. So all she can do is call it, but she won't be able to, leave a message or anything else. She can let go. She just don't want to, because she feels like, um, that she can get him back or try to ruin his new relationship. That's why, she needed to be called desperate, dumb, skanky, a loser, thirsty, a hoe, a bitch, everything that, you could think of. And then, just leave it at that. But she didn't do any of that. She didn't address her at all. So that's the part that I would have done. Like I said, just start it with the proposal stuff, just to hurt her feelings, and then go from there. Oh yes, honey, the savageness. That would have been like, I'd be waiting for two people to do stuff like that to me so I could act a fool. But they just never do. It's like they just look at me and, the one time and this was before I became too savage. Um, when I was dating this guy, I didn't have no business dating him. But you know how it is when you grow up in a sheltered environment. Because like I said before, every time I went somewhere in high school, one or if not two of my three brothers went with me. So I didn't get to go nowhere by myself, nowhere. And so, by the time I'm, in college and stuff, and I'm hitting bars and whatnot, and I'm dating this dude, and went into his bathroom, and these two girls came in there and basically was trying to jump me. They were trying, but that's when I was working out at Gold's Gym, and I was ripped. I punched the fuck out of them and beat that girl's head on the sink. Her head was split up. Blood was everywhere. But it was that moment I realized that this dude, whatever his shit was, and it really probably wasn't his fault because he swore up and down. And he looked like he was telling the truth that he had broke up with that girl. And he didn't have nothing to do with her. He didn't like her. She was crazy, all that kind of stuff. And I had told her if she wanted him, she could have him because I had just really started hanging out with the dude. But she noticed that he had bought me, he had bought us some matching red leather pants. So we were dressed alike. We had on black silk shirts and these red leather pants. We were dressed alike at the club. So she knew we was together and she knew he had bought them because I wasn't buying no nigga no clothes. And so she was just upset. Well, she was really upset. And so she wanted to, get me out of the picture. And I'm like, you could have him. But she's still wanting to, want to be fighting me and stuff, put her hands on me. And see, that's when I don't play that. We could talk shit all day as long as you stay over there. I'll talk shit with you till I get hoarse. But once you reach for me and put your hands on me, well, see, now that's a different situation. Plus, it was two of them. And it was, how bathrooms are. It's only one way in and one way out. And her fat friend was blocking the door. So I had to, you start to quickly assess the situation. So I fucked her up real quick. And then her friend left the door to see about her because I'm telling her head over, blood was everywhere, all over the white, the bathroom and the tile on the floor. It was everywhere because there's so much blood vessels in your scalp. Once you bust your head, it's just, splurts out. And so her friend was all upset and, seeing about her. So she cleared the door. So I got out. And that's when I went out there and I saw him. And I was like, nigga, really? And he couldn't believe it. So he ran over there and, he saw her coming out the bathroom all fucked up. And it was all that. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done here, sir. We're done. This is a wrap. I'm not going nowhere with you. You got to be fighting like I'm in the Wild Wild West. What kind of shit is this? Yeah. Yeah, she got. But see, people, because even though I was small, like, I'm only 5'5", and at that time I probably weighed about 40 pounds less than I do now, but I was all muscle. And so, I was kind of skinny, but heavy because of the muscle. And I whooped that bitch's ass. Plus, you get that extra adrenaline. And I felt like I was fighting for my life since there was two of them. And I was basically locked in this bathroom. You feel what I'm saying? So, I had this like sense of I need to survive this shit. So I beat the shit out of that hoe real quick. I didn't even know I could punch that fast. Just, I was punching her, and then she kind of fell, and she bopped her head on the thing, and I grabbed her head, and I banged it on the sink. One good time for good measure, and then she went out on the floor, and blood was everywhere. And then once her friend left the door to go see her, I hopped over her and went out the door. Woo! Yeah, it was very scary, cutie. It was very scary because I'm thinking, okay, just like I jacked her up on, hit her head on the seat, they could have done that to me, and I was determined though that that wasn't gonna happen. So I threw the first punch. I mean, she reached, she did this to me like she was gonna pull me towards her, and I swung, and that. That's when the fight started. I just, that's what's good when you grow up with three brothers. You learn how to fight. They didn't play that thing that girls like to do. They taught me how to punch and kick. And so, yeah, I'll never forget that. I mean, at the time, I was trying to stay calm, you know what I mean? Because I had to think. But once I got out of there, I was like, oh my God, I could have died. Because it was two of them, and I could tell the friend was big. It was a big old bitch, a big old baby Huey ho. So I'm like, oh no, this could be awful. So That's why I understand, about dealing with stupid bitches. And I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Okay, so you got a man who's, if he's not going to stand behind you and do everything that you said, then you get rid of him too. Yeah, I left, but they wasn't going to call the police because they would have had to explain why the two of them had me in the bathroom threatening me. See? Yeah, that was a big old. You know how Baby Huey looked? That bitch looked like Baby Huey, except she wasn't yellow. Shit. I'm like this, I let that hoe get a hold of me, I might not make it. So I'm thinking all this kind of stuff, just like real quick. You know how you be in a situation, your adrenaline's pumping, and you kind of assessing shit, and you thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, if I go over there, she gonna grab me. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Cause she might choke the shit out of me. Then so I'm thinking about all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh hell no. Yeah. So anyway, young lady, you don't want that kind of situation. That's the long and the short of it. So if you got a guy who's not gonna stay have your back in a situation where he's dealing with some stupid bitch, then you leave him alone. Okay, just leave him alone. Question number 6. This is a female in the 36 to 42 age group from Norwich, England. When I began dating my boyfriend 6 years ago, his ex was saved on his phone as the lying ling. Wow, with no picture. I recently discovered she is now back to her name and he has attached her picture to her contact in his phone dressed as Catwoman. So every time she calls him, her picture comes up. My picture isn't attached to my contact. Am I being paranoid or is this a sign he's still in love with her? Full disclosure, they have a child together and she's often in contact with him about the kid. I can't talk to him where she's concerned. He gets angry and tells me that we are done. I sent a message a few weeks ago explaining how I felt, but I didn't address anything. He just said I was making him out to be a nasty man and I had problems with him having contact with her for his daughter. I'm the one who watches his daughter constantly as his ex likes to be away on weekends and he works away, so I'm helping her out. He's not understanding at all. He constantly borrows money from me, tells me I'm a terrible mother as my daughter is a normal teen and his daughter doesn't know how to communicate. And if we fight, he throws things. He slags my daughter off as she's overweight and I'm just at my wits' end. I know what I need to do. It's just making him see why I have to leave him. You don't need to worry about why what? Why you care what he's gonna see? He's not worried about you. He don't love you, girl. You a free babysitter and free pussy. I hope you understand that, what your role is. That's why he ain't paying you no mind. It just, you kill me. And this is the really fucked up part about this. You are in a relationship where you have a man who is emotionally and verbally abusing your child and you stay with him. If I knew where you lived, I would come to your house and I would kick your ass because this makes no goddamn sense. You sitting up here worried about some bitch in a picture on his phone instead of focusing on the most important thing is the damage that he's doing to your child. And you mentioned that vaguely in passing at the end of the letter. You on some bullshit right about now. That's what's happening right here. You, this what you, I'm gonna tell you this what you do. You, if you living with him, you pack your shit, you get your daughter, you get out of there. You do something to treat your daughter like she's an important person to you. Of course she's an overweight teen. She's emotionally devastated. She's making herself feel better by eating because you obviously not paying the proper attention to her. She's not important enough to you for you to worry about. You a stupid bitch. Okay, let me just tell you just blunt. The more I'm thinking about this, the angrier I'm getting at you. This is poor parenting and a mother who is the worst kind of mother. You chasing dick and sacrificing your child's mental and emotional health to get it. This is some bullshit, lady. You on some bullshit right now. You shouldn't have wrote me. Because right now I hope your feelings are extremely hurt. Because that's what they deserve to be. Just like this motherfucker talking about your daughter to her face and calling her names and stuff. Don't you think your baby is hurting behind that? This is some bullshit. Get your daughter out of this environment away from this motherfucker. This don't even make no fucking sense. Yeah, sad to Savage. Yeah, I know, huh? Black Phoenix. I didn't. I mean, I don't see the letters until I start reading them. This is some bullshit, lady. And you've been dealing with this clown for 6 years. How old is this kid? Shit, you dealing with him for 6 years, and the kid must be at least 7 or 8, right? And you watch his daughter. So how you watching his daughter? Who's watching yours? Why you spending all this time and energy on his kid that he should be spending? This is some bullshit all the way around. This ain't black. These people ain't black in Norwich, England. Come on now. Don't be assigning no racist. You know, a good 60, 70% of my letters these days are from non-black people. I just want you to know we take the race out. But my cousin tells me all these letters coming in from the UK and stuff. I guess they don't have anybody over there who talks to people like I do. And Canada and all this stuff, they ain't black folks. Okay? So don't, we used to be able to assume that. You cannot assume that anymore. Not on this channel, not anymore. Our demographic has changed just extensively. Okay. And this from Norwich, England, they ain't black. This you know, doing this bullshit. Question number 7, female, 21 to 26 from Orlando, Florida. Hi, Deb. I discovered your channel about a year ago and absolutely love everything about the way you think. It is so refreshing to hear a woman speak her mind and give her opinion, not caring what anyone else thinks. Thank you so much for being you and giving women the courage to stand up for ourselves as well. Oh, that's nice. Since I value your opinion greatly, I need your advice on how to tell my parents about a decision I have made. I am a 23-year-old black man student, okay, see, beginning my residency at Tulane next semester. My lifelong goal has always been to travel the world to poor countries and give medical care to those who do not have it and cannot afford it. Oh, look at you. That is a wonderful goal. However, when I was 15, my older twin brothers both died in a motorcycle accident which devastated our family. Oh, as a parent, can you imagine? My parents took it especially hard and have since put all their energy into me as the only child left. I sincerely appreciate and I'm grateful for everything they have done for me. However, this is my dilemma. I have never wanted a family of my own, so I have made the decision to fly to Amsterdam to have a full hysterectomy since I cannot find a doctor in the United States who will do the procedure on me. And before you ask, Deb, yes, I have thought long and hard about my decision. I have never and never will want children, so I want to eliminate the chances of ever falling pregnant, even accidentally. I want my career. I want to travel. I want complete freedom. I do not even want marriage or children. However, I know never having any grandchildren will deeply hurt my parents since my brothers are not here to procreate and carry on the family name. I don't want to hurt them, but I cannot live my life or sacrifice myself to make them happy, which is why having this hysterectomy before telling them is my plan. I've seen too many women have children they don't really want to satisfy other people, and I do not want to fall into that trap. I would rather die than get married and have children. I know that makes me an oddball in society, but I don't care. Domesticity in any form holds no appeal for me. What do you think, Deb? How do I approach this subject with my parents? Your guidance and advice are greatly appreciated. Wait a minute. How old are you again? 23. Okay. Since you're going to be beginning a residency, you don't say what your specialty is. Talk to someone who's a specialist in, an internist or OBGYN. Spend a few minutes with them because I want you to understand the full ramifications of going through menopause at 23 because that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to lose any and all hormones that would prevent that, unless you leave your ovaries and just take out the uterus. But you said a complete. So I'm not sure what complete means. Usually it means you take the fallopian tubes and everything. But figure out if there's some other kind of way that you can prevent the pregnancy part, but still not, maintain the hormones that you need so that you're not just thrown suddenly, shockingly into menopause at 23. That's my big concern for you. Okay? Because that's going to be hard on you. As far as you not wanting any children, honey, sounds to me like you've given it a lot of thought. You've thought about it from every possible angle, and your mind is made up. Who am I to tell you to go around breeding if you don't want to? Because, no, because Andrea, because she could still get pregnant if she's assaulted. There shit happens. Shit happens. And so, you don't have to want to have the eggplant, but you might end up having some anyway because people are savages these days. And, she's young. She's only 23. So that in itself is no guarantee. just not choosing not to be celibate or whatever. That's no guarantee of anything. So doing it her way is the only way that's absolutely positively guaranteed. I understand that. But look at all the possible impact that you will have mentally, hormonally, emotionally, and all that kind of stuff to figure out if there's some way to mitigate some of that so that this is an easier transition for you. Um, and how would you break this to your parents? That's going to be rough. I don't know. I might lie and tell them, oh, I found out I can't have children or something like that. But usually when you're going to do something like that, counseling is part of the deal. They, uh, make you do counseling before you do it. But I don't know. She's talking about going to Amsterdam. I don't know what they do in Amsterdam. But and she sounds like she's studying to be a doctor. The girl's not stupid. She knows what she's doing, and she's giving it a lot of thought. No, her siblings are dead. Remember, she had two brothers. You must have missed that part. They died in a car accident at a motorcycle accident when they were 15 years old. Both of them, the twins, they died. So she's the only kid her parents have left, and she doesn't want any children, and she's feeling like they're going to be pressuring her to have some. So she doesn't, want to do that. So that's what I would do first. Like I said, look at every possible, ramification for you. Then choose the path that's going to be the best for you. And then, like I said, I think I might just lie and tell my parents, "Oh no, I found that I can't have any children. What are we going to do?" So that way they would feel sorry for you instead of being mad at you. You see what I'm saying, where I'm going with this? I know it's a horrible thing, but sometimes lies are not always a bad idea. So give that some thought. You know your parents better than I do. Um, yeah, you give that some thought and think about which way which way might be more acceptable for them. Okay. Because they're going to be old people and they're going to be very disappointed. And you have to figure out again a way to try to mitigate that in some way. So you think about what kind of fantabulous lie you could tell, and then you tell it. Okay, question number 8. This is a male in the 21 to 26 age group out of Toronto. Deb, we've been dating for just a month or so. Last night we were hanging with friends and she told us that she was likely to head back to her house, no, her home country in 3 months. What the hell do I do now? Wow, I mean, I like short letters, but damn, for real? 3 sentences? Okay, I barely even know what to say. Well, what you do, she says most likely to head back. That doesn't mean it's for sure. Okay. So what you need to do is talk to her about it and say, well, why are you going back? What's there that you can't do here? Is this a mandatory thing? Like she's being, some it's stay thing, what they call them, visa or whatever. It's expiring and she has to leave. I mean, you need more information. Okay. Don't just jump to conclusions. It might be something that's out of her control, and she might be as sad about it as you are. The other thing is, if she definitely does have to go back, then what you can do is enjoy the 3 months that you have to the max. Create as many wonderful memories as you possibly can, because just because she goes back to her home country don't mean she can't come back, and it don't mean that you can't go there if y'all really want to be together so bad. Okay. You in the 21 to 26 age group. That's plenty old enough to get you a job in some other place and get you a visa and do what you need to do if you feel like this is the woman for you. Make it happen. Toronto rocks. Dude, it's not like the world is so small now. It used to be, you had to go everywhere by ocean liner. It would take months to get places and all this shit. Now you hop on a Concorde jet or something and you be there and, the same day or the next morning or something, because you go through these time zones and whatnot. So it's like, somebody's in a foreign country, that really doesn't mean anything if you really want to be with that person. But I suggest you talk to her first and get more information. Find out what's going on, because you didn't say, and so I'm assuming you don't know because you got stuck on the fact that she's leaving in 3 months, and that's as far as you went. You didn't ask no question, so you need to find that part out and then make your plans accordingly. A pet grandparent? Yeah, I think that's about what I have with my daughter because, she took my turtle and hers, so both the turtles were with her. But I just, I can't see her with any kids. I just, I don't think that would be a good idea. Question number, now plus I'm like me as a grandmother, ugh. As soon as them little motherfuckers start screaming or shit on something, I would be through. So I'm like, that's probably not the best thing. Not, but I'm not. Mm-mm. Question number 9, female, 30 to 36 from Slovenia. Hello, Deb. I will try to keep this as short as I can. I'm a 32-year-old woman that keeps on falling in love, or better word would be crushing, on unavailable men or men who I barely know, like a teenager. I am sick of my own bullshit. Oh, damn. I had normal, serious relationships with decent men that, of course, did not start from childish crushes and fantasies, but from getting to know each other and all that normal stuff mature people do. But they fell apart for various reasons, and I always get back to being addicted to fantasies and stupid crushes. I barely know these men. I get obsessed with temporarily, and I'm starting to think that's the reason. Maybe deep down, I fear commitment in real relationships. Hence, I'm stuck on these childish illusions. How do I get over this? I know there are worse problems than this, and I've never had a man who mistreated me or was toxic, but it's tiring to be so attracted to distant and unavailable dudes. I also hate it because I am not otherwise childlike or childish person, and I find myself cringy because of this. Thank you for your much appreciated insight. I did a video, I think it was one of my Sunday sermons, on unavailable men. If you look in the playlist for Sunday sermons, you should find it there. And in there, I describe the two types of people who have commitment issues. There's the passive avoider, which is people like you who intentionally choose people that they know they can never get nothing going with. It's not going to last. It's not going to work. It's not going to get off the ground. They're completely incompatible. It's going to end probably as soon as it gets going well, that kind of thing. They intentionally choose people that they know they're really not going to have to be exposed to and eat deeply intimate with and vulnerable to and all that. So it gives them this safe space to feel all these hot emotions and love and longing and all this kind of stuff without the risk. Because you already know it's not going to really end up to be nothing. So nothing about you is invested in it. And then there's the active avoiders. Okay, so that's the passive. And then the active avoiders are the ones who are actively running away from commitment. Those are the men who put space between you. They're dating 5 women at the same time. They don't really want to be with any one of you. They tell you, I'm not looking for a relationship. Each woman, they spend time with you and have fun with you and all that kind of stuff. But they're not going to commit. They always tell you, if you think that you're a boyfriend, they tell you, well, who told you that we was dating? That kind of stuff. They, you the women that want to date them for 4 or 5 years, live with them, have their kids and stuff, and then the man still won't marry them. Active avoider. So those are the two types of people that are out here in the dating world, and not, I mean the two commitment avoider types. And then the normal people who want commitment, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about the two types that are avoiders of commitment. And you are the passive type. So the only thing that I can suggest is if you have the ability to see a counselor for a while and talk about it so you can kind of get to the root of why you're so afraid. Because that's all it is fear. You're afraid of being intimate. You're afraid of being exposed. You're afraid of someone knowing you, and you're afraid of being vulnerable so that someone can hurt you. And so you choose people that you're never going to really be vulnerable to so you can't get hurt. It's very simple, once you really think about it. But I can't really do anything for you, and this is most likely something that's outside the scope of you being able to handle by yourself. So I suggest that you see a therapist. It probably won't take more than, I don't know, 5 visits or so. You're only going to talk about this one thing, and you figure out, where to start it and what you can do to fix it, and they'll work with you. Okay. Yeah, that I think I did a lot. I worked on that video, the research for that video for about 3 months before I did it. So I tried to be as comprehensive as possible. So it's a really, really good video. If you can't look and listen to it all at once, break it up into 20-minute segments or something. Be sure to take notes because there's a lot of information there, but It's in the playlist, the Sunday sermon playlist. Okay. Let's move on to question number 10 of 20. What did I say? 21? Yeah, 21 questions today on Savage Sunday. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscription button before you jump up out of here and hit the like. How come it's all these hundreds of folks been up in and out of here and only 55 likes? What's everybody doing? Thanks, Shay. That's right. Let's talk about this next letter, question number 10. This is a male in the 30 to 35 age group from Perth, Australia. I met this woman a little over a month ago who had just gotten out of a 6-year relationship back in January. She dumped him. We really, and he put that in caps and bold, hit it off on our first date. Probably the best first date I've ever had in my life. A week later, we had a second date. And then she came back to my place and we watched sketch comedy and laughed with each other for hours. When she was leaving, she even leaned in and kissed me pretty passionately. Beyond all this, we have been talking consistently and the conversation never gets stale. It's really nice. Wow. However, recently she canceled our third date, saying that she wanted to take things slowly because of her breakup back in January. I understand that, and I told her she can let me know when she is ready for a third date, and I won't ask if she won't feel any pressure, and we can take things at a healthy pace. But the concerning part has been that her replies when we chat have dried up for the most part. She usually responds 3 to 4 times a day rather than just the constant, consistent conversations we were having previously. It's so confusing because she will message me from some form of good, sweet good morning almost every day, but then waits hours to reply to anything and sometimes doesn't even reply until the next day. I'm not sure what to do here. I definitely don't want to be pushy in any way, but I'm also afraid it's going to get worse until the connection dies and this amounts to nothing. I really like this woman and I don't want to mess this up. What should I do? You should watch the video I did on mirroring. Okay? Mirroring. She is scared. She's scared. Now, most likely she's scared because it's good, and she's scared because she doesn't want to get hurt, just like she got hurt last time. Another factor might be is, people typically go hit the mattresses on the third and fourth date, and you headed to the third date. She might feel like you have some expectations in that direction that you're gonna get you some booty, and she's not ready for that yet. So that's why she's talking about this relationship that she just got out of in January, because it's only May. So depending on how many years out the way, did you say how many years she was with dude? No, it doesn't say how long. It just said that she dumped him. Um, so what you should do is if she texts you good morning, all you do is text her, yeah, good morning to you too. That's it. You don't text her at all else during the day. She wants space, you give it to her. And so this is the hardest thing when people are lonely and they really like somebody. That kind of giving them space causes them major anxiety. What you have to understand is that when someone is acting like she's acting, the best thing you can do is mirror their energy right back to them. She wants space, you give her space. She texts one time a day, you text one time a day. She takes hours to respond, you take hours to respond. You see what I'm saying? You do what she does. It's you give back the energy that she's giving to you. Tit for tat. I'm not saying you're either grudgeful or evil or anything like that. You're just matching her energy because that's where she is right now. That's what's comfortable for her. And if the conversation comes up, you need to reassure her that you had, you're aware of the fact that a lot of people look at the third day as some kind of date as some kind of milestone to start physical, intimacies, but tell her that you are aware of that, but that was not your plan with her at all. That you, whatever is comfortable for her, if that happens, that's great. If it doesn't, that's great too, because you enjoy spending time with her and you want her to be comfortable and everything to be on a schedule that is, that matches her needs and her wants. And so she probably needs a little reinsurance like that. And wow, you guys have some crazy, saying some crazy stuff in the chat. Um, like, and you don't have any proof of any of those things. That's the part that's so amazing. It's like all these things, people be coming up with all the stuff in their imagination about what the person has and is doing and all stuff, and you don't know any of that. You'd have no proof of any of that. Okay, you just were signing all kind of stuff to somebody that you don't even know. Where they do that at? And what she's doing is irrelevant to the letter. We're responding to what this guy is asking. This is the only person that we're giving advice to, and the only person whose issues are concerning us. So what she's doing, who she might be doing it with, where she might be doing it, and all that stuff is not relevant to the question that's being posed to us. Okay? We're asking him, y'all need to stay in focus. That's not fun. Because it's like it shows a kind of mentality that I wish you guys didn't have. I mean, I can't tell you what to do or whatever, but it's like you guys get so easily distracted from what's going on with the letter writer that you start focusing on the other person and start blaming them, negating them, putting all kind of negative stuff on them that's not in evidence anywhere. So then you have to look at yourselves when you start thinking like that. Where are these thoughts coming from? This is from you. This is your own history that you dragging out. Okay, this don't have nothing to do with this person who's writing the letter. And I ask when people are in the chat that you focus on the letter writer and your responses should be something that's informative and supportive of the person. Okay, because they're going to read not only what I wrote, what I'm saying rather, but what you're writing as some information that they need to have. I depend on you to respond to these letters and your comments to be responsible. And going off on these tangents like that, you see it's fun. It's not fun. And it's the complete opposite of what we do here. Okay? I mean, we have fun, but this is not, that's not how it's done. Yeah, they read the chat too. And so, and I try to get them to do that because a lot of times people have very good insight, like especially the ones who live in the municipality where the person is. Sometimes they know resources. They can give them a doctor's name. They can tell them a business to go to or some kind of clinic or some kind of place or something that agency or nonprofit. I mean, they know things that I don't because they live there. So your input is very valuable and it's very important. So please take your role seriously. I mean, like I said, we do have fun. Sometimes, people just be like way off in left field, but we still direct it to the person who wrote the letter. We don't start fantasizing about what someone who's not the letter writer is doing because we don't know anything about them. Okay. So let's stick to the subject. Yes, I'm trying not to be too savage because we have a lot of new people here, and a lot of them, they may not know that. But trying to do it that way, it makes everybody part of the team. That's why it's called the crew because it's not just me answering the letters. I depend on you guys too, to kind of provide different kind of insight and different angles, but positive things. Okay, positive. All right, so that's what I would say, young man. You know, you just got to mirror her energy. And, if she's really still interested, that gives her the space to wrestle with her fears. You see what I mean? So she doesn't feel like, oh my God, he's just, he's pressing me and pressing me. You're giving her the space so that she can say, okay, why am I feeling like this? What's going on? He didn't do anything to me, blah, blah, blah. He's pretty cool. And so once she, calms herself down, then she'll reach out. And that's what I suggest. Okay. It's going to be hard for you because you seem like you said you really like this girl, and that's going to be the hardest thing for you to do is slow down and give her space. Okay. But in the long run, it'll be to your advantage. Question number 11. Female 30 to 36 out of the UK. I've been with my partner for 5 years. He has 2 kids, 2 ex-wife, which are here 3 times a week. What? That's too much. There was drama from day one of meeting him between the ex-wife and his side of the family. They don't like her and made sure I knew that and their reasons why. Fast forward 5 years. I actually sympathize with the ex-wife and get on well with her. Well, as best I can. It's a long story. But anyway, ever since I've had my own daughter, who's now 1, his family has changed towards me. So me and my partner don't have a mortgage. We can't get one, so we have no choice but to rent. He's really bad with money Before I met him, I had no debt. I had my own place. I paid my own bills, etc., etc. Ever since I've known him, he's always had the bank of ma'am and lends substantial amounts off of her and never pays it back. Although when he's tried, she tells him to keep it. Initially, I moved in with him. Then we rented a house, and now we're moved again. Everything was split 50-50, rent, bills, etc. Bills came out, but his account, as he transferred everything over to the new house in his name. Unbeknownst to me, he wasn't paying the council tax. Imagine my horror when I got a letter through the door to go to court. What? I had to pay it off. I was that close to leaving, but in the end, I stayed and made sure that I paid from my account. Now I've looked after his kids on my days off and when he's working for 5 years. I'm basically their child care to save on costs, but he already pays maintenance to his ex-wife. I don't didn't mind for a while, but I quickly realized when my stress levels were through the roof, I'm making everybody else's life easier and mine more difficult by being a stupid yes person. Hmm. I dealt with the ex-wife drama, financial issues caused by him, his kids, buying them clothes, beds, toys, birthday, and Christmas presents because if I don't, he won't do it. He's an absolute man child, to be honest, and yet you stay. Yet his mother can see no wrong. If he asks her to lend him money, she texts me about our finances. If he's sounding sad to her, she texts me asking why, as if it's my fault. She told me I have to transfer everything into my name and pay all the rent and bills. She told me to ring his solicitor about his ex-wife drama. She handed me a list of things to do in our house, including getting rid of our cats. She came the other week to our new house, told us to cut the grass, and told us she hated the decorations. We rent and still waiting on permission to redecorate, and told us she's going to have a neb around the house. I don't know what that is. Told me it's a crying shame you have 2 degrees and you're not doing anything with them. 3 times in the space of an hour. Told me I need to get back to work and pay for child care. Told me to go and do another degree. Told me I need to get a bit of up and go. That I need a bit of get up and go about you, girl. She used to hug me when she came to visit. Now it's a side glance and a forced smile. Deb, I'm this close to packing my shit and leaving. Even my own family wasn't this judgmental and pushy. It's like nobody is good enough for her precious son. Yet little does she know I had my shit together before I met him. Okay, so this is just basically a rant. You're not really asking a question here. Let me tell you how I would handle her. Okay, first of all, I would move out. Okay, I would take my 1-year-old child, which you really had no business having, because you already knew he was bad with money and was paying all of these, getting money from his mother and didn't have his shit together. You already knew that. Yet you decided to have a baby with a dusty bum. That's broken, stupid. Why did you do that? See, this is when I have to start asking women, what the fuck were you thinking when you decided to have a baby by this fool? You was out your rabbit ass mind. That's what you were. You made a very piss poor decision to choose this man to have a child by. This man is useless. This man is stupid. And this man is a man child, just like you said. So your baby got somebody who's a bigger baby as she is, just taller and older. That's what you did to her. You did that. So, you say you had your stuff together and stuff. Well, then why didn't you keep your stuff together? Why did you not have standards where you looked at this man and said, well, he got fucked up credit. He don't have no money. He paying child support out the yin yang and maintenance or whatever you call it. And his bills are behind. I don't want no parts of this. See, that's what, if you had standards and boundaries, that's what you would have done. And you would have been like, you would have realized he was a poor choice for a mate, for someone who had their stuff together and is operating as an adult. But no, anyway, you went on to, yes, you need the exes, all of them, all the exes. So I'm going to tell you this, the best thing that you could do right now is to take your baby and leave. He already has all the bills in his name. Transfer that council tax thing back to him because he's going to still be living there. Or wherever he's going to be living, it's not going to be your concern. You move to where you can afford a place because it's going to be you and a 1-year-old. You just need a 1 bedroom. Y'all can share the room. And you move and you and your baby do what you need to do. You get daycare. You go, go to work and do everything that you need to do and move on with your life. And in the future, please make smarter decisions. You've been wasting 5 years with this fool and babysitting his kids 3 times a week to help them save money at the expense of your nerves and your self-esteem and have to deal with his raggedy ass mama. Now, as far I want to talk comment about that. Okay, why are you letting some bitch come in your house and talk to you like that? Why are you doing that? Because, see, what you're supposed to do is say, look here, lady. It's one thing if you take care of your son like he's a child. I don't have nothing to do with that. That's not, it's irrelevant to me. But I was taking care of myself before I ever met your raggedy ass son, and I'll be taking care of myself when I leave him. That's how it's going to be. So you don't tell me shit. You don't come to my house telling me nothing. You don't live here. You don't have no voice here. Yeah, you give him money, but that's where it is. If you got something to say, you say it to him. Don't call me about shit that he's doing. Don't ask me no questions about him. He's a grown ass man. You ask him. And in the future, you're going to be trying to tell somebody what to do and trying to have, some kind of critique about my degrees that I got. What the fuck do you have? Do you have even one degree? Because, you didn't say anything about her. You don't even have one. But I got two. And you're going to have the nerve to be trying to throw some shade? Bitch, please. Get out of here. And you can't talk to nobody like you have some sense. Don't come back to my house. That's what I would have told her. Yeah, they both. They both. It's funny when I look at my phrases and somebody repeats them. Andrea Marie say, "Look here, lady." Yeah, that's how I say it too. I say that to everybody. Hey, look here, lady. Look here, little girl. When I'm talking to like teenagers or people younger than me, yeah. Look here, nigga. I always preface it with "look here." I don't know why I do that, but that's my thing. Let's move on to question number 12. Everybody hitting that like button, hit that like, hit it, click it, and hit the subscriber button. We need more subscribers. Trying to get to 30,000 now. We hit the 25. We need 30. All right, this is a male 26 to 29 from Edmonton, Canada. So I've suffered from lifelong depression, which has had a negative impact on my life, to say the least. Things are getting better. I'm heading towards a pretty good spot in life, and I've been thinking about putting myself out there trying online dating one of these days. There's just one thing. How do I find a good way to explain the depression to a date? Hmm. It's the reason for plenty of things, like why I worked a shitty job for so long, apathy, poor self image, amongst other things. But it's tough to find a nice, appropriate, or even subtle way of saying, I never put much thought into my future, what to do with my life, because I just wanted to die. I never thought I'd live this long or make it this far. I mean, I don't want to be too heavy, too serious on a first date, but I feel like the subject might come up. Would it just be beneficial to put it off and try and stay away from the subject for as long as possible? Oh my, son, that means you don't really have too much dating experience. Let me tell you, like on this channel, I have a video about what not to do on a first date. I'll try to remember to link it because it's an older video and it probably won't show up unless you do a search. But it talks about what what you should not say and do on a first date. Talking about your depression is on that list of what not to do. So no, you wouldn't bring that up. That's your health conditions, unless it's something that's obvious, like you got like a fake leg, a fake eye, I don't know, you walk herky jerky or you in a hover round or something. I mean, something that's, somebody could look at you and see, oh, yeah, he has a disability. There's a problem here. If they can't see it, then you don't bring it up until later because you don't know if you're even going to see this person again. Why do you feel it necessary to trot out all the stuff that's wrong with you in your life and just vomit it out and onto a person that you are just meeting? Why don't you give them a chance to discover the positive things about you? The things that make you laugh and how you can make them laugh and the joy that you would bring to their life. Why do you have to focus on this as a way to connect with somebody? This is a way to run somebody off. Okay? This is not the kind of stuff you talk about on a first, second, or even a third date. You don't. You talk about stuff like this maybe on date 10 or 12 or 15 when you're actually a couple. And you frame it in a way where I used to deal with depression, and then you talk about how you've come out of it, what you're doing to make your life different. You wish you had arrived at this sooner, blah 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 blah. But you put it in a way that shows you're in charge of it now, whereas before you were not. Okay? Don't do this to yourself. I'm telling you, if somebody um, came up to me on a first date and started telling me about their mental health struggles, I'd be like, oh, look at the time. I got to go. See, I told you, I don't do crazy. I don't do crazy. I don't do bipolar. I don't do schizophrenia. I don't do depression. I don't do I just can't. I just need you to be normal. Okay? Normal. Because dealing with normal men is bad enough, ladies. Am I lying? Because they just be tripping about stupid stuff. And those are normal people. So you imagine having to be in a relationship with somebody who's already enough struggle and they having major issues too. And it's not even being honest, Keish. It's about um because nobody's going to ask you, oh, do you have mental health struggles that I should know about? Who's going to ask you that? So it's like the kind of thing. It's not really saying honest is not really the right way. I mean, because if they ask you and then you lie, okay, that would be being dishonest. But I'm talking about there are certain topics that you don't need to talk about. Just like a woman talking about, I've had struggles, getting pregnant. I've lost 5 babies in miscarriages, even though I really want. Okay, on a first date. I've always had really bad menstrual cramps on the first date. Well, everybody in my family has diabetes and I'm getting it too. And I actually lost a toe last year on the first date. I had to file bankruptcy because my ex-husband, did this and that and he was on crack and he sold all the stuff in our house and I was on the first date. So see, it's not a matter of being honest. It's a matter of shutting your mouth because it's just a lot of stuff. It's just not other people's business until you're in a serious relationship with them, like about to get married or something. Then that's when you spill all them beans. Okay, because you're about to join your life with theirs. Not even a boyfriend. Women be running off at the mouth too much, telling boyfriends stuff about their sexual assaults and all they how they got abused as a kid and all this shit to a mere boyfriend. I wouldn't tell a motherfucker shit. Anything that happened to me before I met them, it's like there's like a wall up and they will never know it. That's how I operate. You don't need to know. It's not your concern what happened to me 10, 20, 40, 50 years ago. That's none of your business, son. Stay in your lane. But y'all just want to be dragging up stuff and just flinging it out there like, fling, 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 fling. These are all my problems, all my issues. Oh, I must spill in my guts to you and tell you everything. And you just vomiting up all this stuff and telling these people all your business. So it's like, 60 men out here that you've had one date with, and each one of them knows all your business. Y'all just, your mouths, you need to keep them quiet. Okay, let's move on here. Question number 13. This is a young lady in the 21 to 25 age group from London. God, a lot of letters from the UK today. For context, I'm a 23-year-old female graphic designer. I've worked an internship recently, and one of the women in question was a senior from my college working as a horizontal level colleague who she's also 23. She was generally passive aggressive towards me very often. She'd somehow managed to push my chair more and more into the wall as I sat at the same table, and my seat was the closest to the wall. She'd intentionally suggest I make changes to my work, which I did, and would be asked to rechange to the original by higher ups during approval process. She'd make snide remarks about how she didn't know how to do what I was doing while using a certain software. My dumb thought was thought, okay, I don't know what she meant, that she wanted to learn. So I offered to show her what I was doing someday after work, to which she remarked, oh, you'll teach me, in a tone that I couldn't even identify. I already know that's why I put the tone on there. I know that's a silly bitch shit. She left a week after I joined, and post that, the rest of my duration went smoothly. I recently joined a new workplace and I'm currently working remotely with people from all over the world. There's a female colleague, again a horizontal level peer, who is also repeating the same behavior. She's nitpicking at my work, asking for literally pixel size changes, and overall giving me passive aggression. I'm the kind of person who believes that if something appears more than once to me, there's a pattern I need to address. So I'm trying to figure out why this is happening. Because I generally have no hostility towards anyone until they begin to give me reasons. And even then, my quote hostility looks like ignoring the aggressor. Is it possible I might be doing something wrong? Could this have something to do with us being female? Could this have something to do with us being equals at the workplace? I have many female friends ranging from extremely feminine to extremely masculine. And most of my friends are very talented and skilled, and it gives me great joy to hear my peers getting great jobs or receiving praise. I can understand what I'm doing wrong or how to tackle workplace aggression from female colleagues. This has never happened with male colleagues. I'd like to believe that I have some amount of self awareness and I'm willing to change my behavior to be better. Thanks for choosing my letter, Candace. Okay, I'm going to tell you this, having been in this situation many, many times before. What you have is some insecure little bitches. You come in there, even though you're a peer, you guys are the same age. Obviously, your skills are better than theirs. Your knowledge far exceeds theirs, as does your skill set. They're jealous, honey. They're jealous. They feel threatened by you. So what I'm going to tell you this now. You got a peer and you know something, you don't offer to teach nobody shit unless they fucking pay you. Okay? Because, they have classes for that. If their supervisor wanted them to learn, the supervisor would send them to the class, right? That's not your job to train nobody. Your ass wasn't hired to be a trainer. You're hired to be a graphic designer. Stay in your lane. Okay, now, as far as her pushing your chair, you supposed to you go sit as close to her as possible. Make her bitch ass uncomfortable. You sit right up and put your chair in the center of your desk and you sit there. And if she hers is too close to yours, you say, you might need to move your chair over and just come because look at all that space on the other side of you. You're crowding me. And what's she gonna say? She gonna move her chair like she has some fucking sense. As far as her suggesting that you make changes to your work, you say, well, I'm going to show it to my supervisor to see what they say. You don't let some bitch just appear to you and don't even know how to do what you do tell you anything. Are you understanding where I'm going with this? You listen, sure, but she ain't your supervisor. She don't tell you nothing. She does not give any approvals to your work. So why you chose to listen to her, I'm kind of astonished at that. You just let what she say go in and out, in one ear and out the other because it's her fucking opinion. It don't mean nothing. And you sitting up there doing what she wants you to do, that's showing you to be weak of the mind. That's not how you do things. You got to handle yourself like a G. You enter in corporate America, you make the decision about what your work is going to be looking like. Obviously, you're very good at it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have hired you. Okay? So you in the future, if that happened, unless that person is like your team leader, you guys are working on that's the program, director, the program manager, whatever they call it. Unless that person has some role of authority over you for a specific project or your day-to-day supervision, you don't pay any attention to what they're talking about. They're going to say, oh, I think it would look good, and say, oh, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. You don't have to be a bitch. You acknowledge their opinion, but you don't change anything. Your boss is paying you for your ideas, your talent, and your skills, and that's what you show them. So if they come back and want you to change something, that's coming from your superiors, and that's when you change it. Just some Mickey Mouse peer of yours, they need to worry about what their work is looking like, not yours. Okay. Now, the other thing, what else did she say? She makes snide remarks about how she didn't know how to do what you were doing. Say, wow, well, maybe you need to go back to school and learn. Since we're supposed to be peers, how come I know it and you don't? I wouldn't have gave her no leeway with that and offered to teach her bitch ass shit. That's not your job, like I said. Um, so she left, so that was good. She couldn't take it. She was jealous. Okay, she got somebody who's nitpicking at your work and asking for changes again. A horizontal colleague, that's your same thing. You do exactly what I said. Just nitpicking at your work. Say, well, it's nice that you have an opinion, but the only opinion that counts to me is my boss's. So I'll just wait for him or her or whoever it is to give me their opinion. But thanks. Just blow them off so they understand that you're not being bothered by them telling you what they think because you don't really give a fuck what they think. And those kind of like blow off responses will communicate that. It's like you just like, the lady in the Charlie Brown cartoon. Wah, 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 wah. You know how they used to make the teachers say like talk like that? That's about how this bitch would be sounding to me. Okay, and if this is a pattern that you need to address, nope, it's nothing that you need to do. This is you being confident, talented, skilled, educated, and good at what you do, and people coming in there being jealous. So let me just explain to you, you're very young. You're going to run into this a lot as you move through your career. There's so many insecure bitches in this world, it's just not even funny. You don't have to do anything. You just show up and look better than them. And they start tripping out and start trying to find ways to sabotage your work because they mad because you cute and they're not. I mean, it's just all kind of stuff that they do. I've just worked with crazy ass white girls my entire life. And that passive aggressive little backstabbing bullshit like this, they all do that shit. Whereas black women are just more, more assertive, and we'll just tell you straight to your face, I don't like you, bitch. And that sends people to the moon. But the white girls don't operate on that level. They tend to do this kind of little shit here. And so you learn about them and stuff. So they start doing snide remarks and stuff. I do it right back. I had learned that when I was young. I got my first job in corporate America at 16. It was a real education, and so I learned. I watched how they do each other, and it's that passive aggressive little snarky shit. So as soon as they start doing it try to do it to me, I do it back, and I'm a master at it at this point because I've been doing it for years, decades. And so I, do it back, especially the young ones. You don't have the skill set I have to be a bitch, little girl. I got a daughter who's older than you. And trust me, if it comes to being a bitch, I have a fucking PhD at it. You don't even have a bachelor's yet. So they get started with that bullshit and I clown and just put them in their place. But that's how you have to do. So you have to get a tougher skin, realize what you up against, and then, handle yourself accordingly. But just ignore them for the most part. Question 14, female, 18 to 21, Seattle, Washington. Deb, I chose to write to you for advice because of your experience as a personal trainer. Sadly, I've hated my body since middle school. I was always made fun of by my friends for being a twig, and I thought I'd grow curves naturally when I got older. I am 19, 5 feet tall, and curveless. About a year ago, me and my younger sister, who's a year younger than me, both lost a lot of weight. She was 85 pounds and I was 95. Ugh, you guys are tiny. 1 year later, she's 120 with a perfect body, and I'm the exact same, if not worse. Hmm. I can't help but think of all the support she got from my parents. Well, all I get is pressure. I'm responsible for so many things because I'm the oldest, and her only being a year younger, she's got to do her own thing and focus on herself. I so desperately want to change my body and start going to the gym because I don't see any other way to get the body I want, and no one is taking me seriously. My mom keeps telling me to wait. I grew so much hatred for my sister that every time I look at her, I have to run into my room because I start crying. I've hated myself for my whole life and I really want to stop. I really want to be in a place where I'm past the self loathing and low self esteem so that I can focus on other aspects of my life, but it's like a never ending cycle. I know I'm 19, so that should mean I could do what I want, but I can't start my gym journey without my parents' consent, even though it's my money I'll be using. Okay, this is an easy fix. Number one, number one, you have to realize when you have the kind of frame that you have, the straight up and down body, what you have to do is lift heavier with less reps. You also have to eat like twice as much as you obviously eating. In order to build muscle, you need fuel. In order to get the fuel, you comes from food. You have to eat. If you're skipping meals, you've got to stop. You have to eat high calorie foods, avocados, nuts, you know, rice and stuff like that. I wouldn't say pasta, that's kind of empty calories, but you want to have stuff that's, full fat yogurt and dairy products and stuff, eggs, um, not chicken breast. You're gonna eat more chicken or meats with more fat in it. You need the calories. Okay, that's what you need. You can put butter on your toast. Not diet. You're not gonna be dieting and trying to watch your figure. You need to eat. Okay, now the money that you have, You can go or you can order on some website or whatever. You're going to order some dumbbells. I don't know what kind of exercise you've been doing or how strong you are, but you should at least start with 8 to 10 pound dumbbells and then maybe a 12 to 15 pound set. You're going to use those later, but you're going to start with the 8 to 10 pounds, and you're going to do some just standard issue stuff. Squats where you hold the dumbbells down, you squat down, push your butt back to, so that your knees don't push past your toes. You don't rise up on your toes. You're going to do squats. You're going to hold them dumbbells. You can put them on your shoulders. That's even easier. It's easier on your shoulder joints. You rest them on your shoulders and you go up and down and up and down. You do walking lunges. Okay, you're going to do some shoulder presses. You can do holding one dumbbell overhead. You're going to do some tricep extensions. You can do side bends with your heavy dumbbells, and you can do um, like you put like glute raises where you lay with your feet flat on the floor on your back, put the dumbbells in the joint of your hips and squeeze your butt and push up. Push up, and that's when you're going to use your really heavy dumbbells, okay? Because you're trying to build muscle. Now, I just gave you a good little beginner workout. Any cardio you're doing, like running, jogging, long walks, and hikes and shit, you're going to stop doing all of that. You're just burning your muscle right off, especially if you're not eating enough. So, you concentrate on that. You should be able to get started with everything that you need, like a big physio ball. You're only 5 feet 5, so you're the same height as me. You get the medium sized one. I think it's a 65 centimeter ball, and you could do crunches on that, and you can use it like a weight bench. Um, and there's all kind of exercises you can do with that. But you could get everything that you need for $100. You don't need to join a gym for this. Okay, you don't need to join a gym. Yeah, you definitely want to uh, so that when you gain this weight, it's curvy muscle, and it's like going to be fat on top of the muscle, but it's going to be healthy weight because you're going to eat well. Okay, that's what happens. A lot of you young girls, you diet away all your muscle, skipping meals and all this old stuff. And if you have, I don't know, where did you live again? Hold on a second. Oh yeah, you in Seattle. Okay, you in the United States. You can get like Ensure and those kind of, high calorie instant meals. So if you have to eat, if you have to miss a meal, you way busy doing something, you drink that instead. Okay. I don't know what it tastes like, but it does work. Yeah, you have to eat. You have to eat, and you have to eat a lot. You have to eat a lot. You're probably going to feel like you're overeating. But if you want to gain some weight and you want to put on some muscle in some strategic places, that's what you have to do. Okay? I mean, I could probably send you a workout, but you would have to write me, survivingdating@gmail.com. Remind me that it's you, and then I'll send you to email you the workout. Okay? That's all you're going to do. And you'll be fine. It'll take you probably about 2 months to start noticing some real serious differences if you do what I'm telling you. Question number 15. This is a female in the 30 to 36 age group, no location provided. A year ago, my last relationship ended. My last relationship, 5 years, ended because it was not going anywhere. There are no hard feelings, but I no longer see my stepdaughter, which is very hard. So that means she wasn't your stepdaughter if it was just a relationship. It was your man's child. 10 months ago, I bought a house alone, which I have just got the keys for. I love it, and the freedom of living alone for the first time is wonderful. I met a lovely man 6 months ago and spent a few nights a week at his house. Due to reasons I would rather not go into, he has asked if he and his adult daughter can come live with me. So I'm feeling very hesitant, but I'm not sure why. He's in a sticky spot with his current housing situation. I didn't live with my former partner, just spent a lot of time at each other's places. So I was wondering if this is general commitment phobia on my part or if it's just meant to say no to helping him. It's about the rental prices going up and him not having enough money with his other bills. Please advise you tell him no. Tell him no. And he's got an adult daughter. Between the two of them, they should be able to make enough money to rent a place. Okay? If she's not working, then you need to ask him why not. Because even if she got a part time job, she could help kick down some money for the rent. But whatever it is, he's not going to move in with you. This is what you're going to tell him. It's like, I have lived in a situation where I was not stable myself. I was in situations where I was, feeling depressed and lonely and sad because I was crowded or cramped, whatever you want to say you was feeling. And you tell them this is the first time in my life where I have a space that's just mine, and I want to maintain that sense of freedom and autonomy. I'm really sorry. I really like you. The last 6 months have been really great, but that is not enough time for us to be together, for us to live together. I know a lot of people do that, but I'm not one of those people. I don't want anyone living with me, not even a cat. Okay, and then that's what you tell them, so you can start making other arrangements. One thing you do not want to have is some man moving into your spot, your house that you own. Because just like you bought a house, his monkey ass could have bought one too. Especially between him and his adult daughter, they could have bought the house together. But the fact that he didn't, what the fuck was you doing with your money all this time? So it shows that you're a better money manager than him. Why does he have so many bills that he can't keep up with them and pay his rent too? Did you ever think of that? What's he into? What happened? So whatever it is, I have a lot of questions, and plus you only been dealing with him for 6 months. You don't have enough information on dude yet to let him move up in your house. It's gonna be drama. So you tell him what I told you, and tell him if that's a problem, then y'all don't have to see each other anymore. But he's a lovely man, and that you would like to continue to see him, but you're gonna be seeing him from your separate residences. You will not be living together. The end, and that's it. That's what you tell him. Okay? You haven't even owned your house for a year. See, I love it and the freedom of living alone for the first time in my life. Maintain that. Okay. You just met this dude. I mean, if you got to let him go, let him go. No love lost. Trust me. There's 55 million more men that's most likely better than him that you could date. Okay. Question number 16, female, 30 to 35 from Belfast, Ireland. Hi, Deb. I posted my question on, I'm going to leave that out, but decided to see if I could get your take as well. This is the mess I'm in. My boyfriend is 29 and I'm 31. We met online and have been together for a little less than a year, and it's long distance. Ugh. So basically, we don't see one another often. I'm visiting him right now, though, and I was shocked and disgusted and how I found the state of his bathroom. The sinks have actual brown filth in them. What? The shower floor is black. I don't understand why, and it smells rotten. That's why that's like black mold. The toilet bowl is, how can I even describe it without losing my lunch? I hadn't been here in a few months. I know he's not the cleanest guy, but this place has turned into a dump since my last visit. I'm someone who loves cleanliness and takes pride in having a clean home. I asked him why he doesn't clean, and he says because he gets home late and has no time. I told him I do too, but I have very long days, yet I still find time to clean. Not only that, but scrubbing a toilet takes 5 minutes. I am repulsed. I don't know what to do. I don't even feel comfortable taking a shower here. No, because that fungus will get on your skin and creep into your pores and shit. If you get in his shower, you better wear some flip flops so your feet don't touch shit. And your shoe is protecting your foot. But you know what I would do? I would go to a hotel until it was time for me to fly the fuck up out of there. Then I would be like, boop, I'm gone. And don't look for me to come back, you little pig pen motherfucker. No. I can't do filthy bathroom or filthy kitchens where food is being prepared. The rest of the house, man, because I'm kind of a clutter bug. I'm working on 900 different projects and videos, and I have folders everywhere and papers, research and stuff. It's like a lot of paper, but it's like I know where everything is. All my different projects, I know where everything is. My books, I know where everything is. But I think just looking at it, most people probably like, damn, you got shit everywhere. But it is what it is. But one thing that is the floor is clean, the bathroom is clean, the tub is clean, the toilet is clean, and the kitchen is clean. Where I fix my food and where I have to use the bathroom are not dirty. Okay, and it's not clean, it's not cluttered in those two spots. It's only cluttered like in my office, this area. But and a lot of it has moved into my bedroom because I like to work in bed. I have this little tray thing, and I put my laptop there, and so sometimes I have the folders, and they end up on my night table and stuff. Till I bring them back in here. But it's this is filth. This is different, and I don't know. sinks. I mean, how can you even wash your face or brush your teeth, wash your hands in there? You know, water might splash, touch that shit and splash back on you. Oh my God, that wouldn't work for me. I would be up out of there. I'm telling you, like I'm gonna stay at a hotel, and I can come and see you then. Yeah, this is just gross. Ugh, girl. And you know, if he ain't cleaning his environment, that means he ain't cleaning himself either. So you got a nasty boyfriend in Belfast, Ireland. I don't know what to tell you. He would be my ex. Question 17, female 225 from Louisville, Kentucky. In the past few years, I built myself up a lot. I think a lot more highly of myself than I used to, but I still find myself wanting everyone to like me. I get offended and hurt when people don't like me. I don't have that many friends. I'm working on building friendships, but it's hard. So I feel like that's why I place so much value on people's opinions of me. How can I find value in myself and get away from needing validation from others? I'm trying to figure out why you place so much importance on other people's opinion. Where they do that at? You must not listen to this column to enough to realize most people are kind of stupid. You know, they make stupid decisions. So it's like, the way they think about stuff is kind of stupid and backwards too. So when you put that together, and I see people like you worrying about people that are stupid, liking them, I wonder what's wrong with you, because that means that you're stupid too. Because see, otherwise you wouldn't give a damn about what some stupid person thinks. Because who told them they could think? They're not good at it. They don't have, they just, that's not their skill set. So you putting your whole self-esteem in the hands of somebody who's stupid, and feeling bad about yourself because a stupid person doesn't like you. I just find that to be utterly amazing. I just don't understand it. Where they do that at? It's really sad. So, dude, I'm gonna tell you, you get offended and hurt when people don't like you. I mean, why can't you think that they're stupid and that's why they don't like you? Why do you have to feel like there's something wrong with you? It's an indictment of you in some way, shape, or form that they don't like you. You know, as much as vanilla and strawberry ice cream are popular worldwide, do you know there are people that don't like vanilla and chocolate ice cream and strawberry ice cream? Me being one, I don't like chocolate. But there's some people who, when I've told them I don't like chocolate, they look at me like I have four heads and think, oh my God, there's something seriously wrong with this woman. I'm like, no, I just don't like chocolate. You could like it. You could have my lifetime share, as a matter of fact. I'll gift it to you. Hamdulillah, hamdulillah. I mean, you can have it. I don't want it. I don't like chocolate. The only chocolate that I will eat is in a Snickers bar every so often. I don't want, I have no interest. So you, sir, and this is the kind of thing, this attitude that you have, um, is going to be a problem, in dating, because you don't feel worthy. So you feel like you have to like earn people's trust, I mean earn people's love and affection and devotion and attention. So you constantly going to be jumping through hoops and bending and flexing and not being who you are in order to get them to like you, because that's where your focus is. And that's it. Where's your authentic self then? If you can't even like yourself, then you can't see where there's anything for anyone else to appreciate. I'm going to make a suggestion that you investigate some therapy in Louisville, Kentucky. Get yourself to a counselor so that you can, start to delve into where these feelings emanated. How did you come to this? What happened to you? Is this some messages you got in childhood somehow? When? And so that you can have someone who has the skill set to help you turn this around, because you're still young. You're only in the 21 to 25 age group. You do not want to live your entire life like this could be a serious problem for you. Okay, I'm glad you wrote to me. I'm glad we're going to get you on the right track. But this, you have to take it from here. I'm not in Louisville. I can't help you. You're going to have to take the bull by the horns and investigate a counselor that you can work with, and start getting into where this comes from. Once you understand where you got these early messages that you're not good enough from, then you can start to, address them and turn them around. But right now, you're shooting in the dark because you're not looking at, at least you haven't communicated to me. Now, I'm not saying you don't know, but you didn't communicate with me, so I'm going to assume that you don't, and that's why you are writing, right? So either way, look into getting some help. And once you have more confidence in yourself and believe that you are a great person and worthy and wonderful and lovable and all those kind of things, then you'll stop behaving this way and you will draw more people to you because they will be excited about your confidence. They'll be excited about the fact that you like yourself. It's a different kind of energy that people give out and it just draws others to you. Okay? That's the best thing that I can come up with for you on such short notice. Yeah, anonymous. I'm telling you, it's like I guess people they be so enchanted with what I'm saying they just forget to hit the like button. I'm gonna say that. You don't like strawberry ice cream, Kimberly? Egads. Well, I like I said, I don't like chocolate, and people just dudes want to give you chocolate and stuff, and they come in all proud. They don't spend $50 on this box of chocolates, and I just look at it. I mean, I say thank you and stuff, but I mean, because it's nice that somebody cared enough to get you a gift. You know what I mean? I'm always appreciative when someone gets me something because it shows that they were thinking of you. The problem is, then they want you to be all excited and open it up and start, eating them, and I'm like. Let me just save this for later. And then I usually give it away because to somebody who likes chocolate, because that ain't me. It would just sit in my house and just you know wither away and rot or whatever happens to chocolate when it gets old, and I would never eat it. I would never eat it. Yeah, see, Sue. Yeah, for any more chocolate boxes I get, I'm gonna send them to Sue, cause I don't like that stuff. And they are people always giving you that, thinking that you're gonna be all excited. I guess most women like chocolate. I'm like, give me some money. It's like I'll buy my own treat, which is usually some Pinot. That's what I like. Give me a bottle of wine, I'll be all kind of excited. But you can keep your chocolate. Isn't that funny how people are? Let's move on. Oh, I buy the European chocolate if I'm gonna get it for other people. I always get, I can't remember the name of that stuff. I just get it's real expensive. But anyway, if I'm gonna give somebody chocolate because I know they like it, I'm buying them a gift. I always get, there's a store in San Francisco I used to go to. I don't even know if it's still there because I haven't been to the city in years now. Let's move on to question number 18. This is a young man in a 36, well, he ain't young, 36 to 42 from Huntsville, Alabama. I dated this woman for a few years. We broke up 3 years ago. At this point, I am now 39 and she is 31. We still hang out. She wants me to buy a house for her to move into, with her to move into. I said no because she doesn't cook, clean, or help me in any of my ventures or help take care of her dogs. I like her, but she can barely take care of herself. I clean for her place, buy her groceries, and take her and her daughter out. We broke up, but we still hang out for the past 2 years. I told her to go out and date. We aren't intimate anymore and haven't been for almost a year. But she keeps inviting me over for wine and a movie, and it turns into you got to buy me something or pay a bill. Then when I say no, we're just friends, she pouts and sucks her teeth and tries to get me to commit to something. I can't marry someone who just acts entitled, manipulative, and doesn't offer me anything towards peace of mind. Just being fun isn't enough. I like her, but it costs me at least $200 every time I see her. And that can be 2 or 3 times a week. Damn, she don't even need a job. She just living off of you. I told her she had a limit of $100. She sometimes asked me to go to a restaurant, say she would pay, and then say I didn't know I was paying. At least once a week, she tries to trick me into paying a bill. Bill something. How do I tell her she is a leech/gold digger and calm it down without being disrespectful? Because she deflects like a prize fighter. I don't mind helping out, but every day is sickening. Am I a simp? Oh, I was thinking that you are positively psychic. Not only are a simp, you're kind of stupid. And obviously, you like this woman a lot more than she likes you because this is some bitch who's just all up in your pocket. She don't give a shit about you. Have you not realized that yet? So, she wants you to come over. These are the things that you need to say. Can you come over? Nope. Are you going to come over and watch a movie with me? I'm sure not. I have a date. That's what you need to start saying. I'm going out with so and so. And then you say, she was like, well, are you going to pay a bill? Did I make the bill? See, you want to be like you worried about her feelings and being disrespectful. These things I'm saying to you are not disrespectful, but they're just showing her that she's not important to you. I'm going out with other women, and did I make the bill? Then I don't need to pay the bill. Well, do you help me pay rent? Do I live here? I don't live here. I got to pay where I live at. You worry about where you live at, and I'm worried about where I live at. Click. See, you stop. You got to start putting space between the two of you so she can stop using you. But all I can tell you is, if you are coming out of pocket for $400, $500, $600 every week, dude, she don't even need a job. She just living off of you. It's tax free. That must be nice. Shit, I need to find me somebody like you to kick me down $2,000 every month just out of his pocket for free. I don't even have to screw for it. Well, she gets the money because she asked him for it and he gives it to her. Like I said, he must really like her even more than he's willing to admit, because that's the only way that this would work. Man, $200 every time I see her, and that he says at least $200 every time I see her, and that can be 2 or 3 times a week. So I'm saying $600, and he said at least, so it could be more, 800, 1,000. I'm like, shit, I need me somebody like you. Well, it's just ridiculous. But dude, yes, you're a simp. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is terrible. Let's move on. Question 19, female, 26 to 29, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Since the pandemic started, I've been spending a lot of time at my boyfriend's parents' house. Growing up, my father was generally supportive and warm, but that's not the case here, and it's been a bit of a culture shock to me. I'll call my boyfriend's dad Jim and his mom Jane. How about Tarzan and Jane? The biggest problem I have with, quote, Jim is how he treats members of his family. The expectations for them, the punishments if they don't fulfill those expectations, and the lack of positive interactions. Jim expects Jane to make his dinner every single night and bring it to him while he's watching TV. And if she's late, he gets really angry. Jim cannot get a slice of pizza out of the fridge and microwave it when she's busy. It has to be her. Jane doesn't respond to any of this. I couldn't imagine putting up with this much lack of respect, but she just does it to meet his demands. The most I've heard her complain is to say we shouldn't do something because we'll, quote, get in trouble. Jim has also shown a lack of respect and compassion towards his children. When his daughter was in college, in two separate incidents, she broke her teeth and got in a car crash. Both times the reaction was anger that the accident had happened, rather concern over her health, both physical and emotional. He cut her off from the family for a whole semester when she broke her teeth. It was one of the darkest times in her life. He has a ton of, wow, this guy is a piece of work. He has a ton of expectations for my boyfriend and by extension me. A couple of weeks ago, we were doing a chore and did it incorrectly. He got really mad. He told my boyfriend to stop even trying if he couldn't get it right. Half an hour later, my boyfriend tried to apologize and ask how we could fix it. Jim said he never wanted to hear an apology from him again and that he would never forget this. I have fantasized about all sorts of solutions. The most realistic option would be to confront him, but I've seen enough examples of that pans out how to know that wouldn't work. My current solution is similar to Jane's. Work as hard as I can to earn his respect by meeting his expectations as much as possible. It kind of kills me to do this, though. I've thought about if I ever broke up with my boyfriend, writing Jim a strongly worded letter about everything he's done wrong. I very much hope I don't break up with my boyfriend, though, and it wouldn't help anyways. It would just be a catharsis thing. I've thought about destroying his things, particularly expensive collectible posters that depict women in objectifying pornographic manner. I've thought about making a magazine, say for April Fools, that features pictures of men with trucks, leather, and bottles of whiskey juxtaposed with text explaining how to be respectful and compassionate. But this seems like a lot of effort and again would likely fall flat. So my problem is I feel like I have little agency in this situation. What do I do? You break up. How is this even an issue? That's not your father. Why are you putting up with this bullshit? See, me, let me tell you how this was, because I know my mouth. He would have tried to get me to do something. I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't my daddy. I don't have to do shit you say. You tripping. And would I have said in his house? Absolutely. You know why? Because I would have been through with him and his son at that moment. Because, seeing a man of mine act like that with his father, like kissing up to him and is letting his father bully him and stuff, I would know that's not the man for me. He's not even a man. He's still a little kid. running around trying to please his daddy and all this kind of shit. I can't not no. I can't have a guy like that in my life. I have no respect. None. It's like you a grown ass man and he's trying to boss you around like you four and you going along with it. I'm out of here. Cause 4-year-olds don't need to fuck. And you supposed to be my man, you trying to fuck, then that means you supposed to be standing up like a man. You still laying down, sit down like a child went on a potty chair. I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. So you going through all these mental manipulations and fantasies and all this shit. The number one realistic thing that you could do is do this with your feet. Choo, 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 and walk away from this situation. Nothing here has anything to do with you. This is his family, his mama, his daddy, his life. Nothing to do with you. Okay, so you getting yourself confused. You thinking, you trying to treat him like you married or something. This is a boyfriend, and he shouldn't even be that. So you really need to think about what's going on here. You basically, by jumping through his hoops and stuff, you becoming a part. You setting yourself up to be one of the emotionally and mentally abused, psychologically abused people like the rest of his family. I would cuss that controlling motherfucker out. So I'm not doing shit you have to say. You got everybody up in here acting like they scared of you. Motherfucker, I don't give a shit what you got to say. I'm not doing shit in your aisle. I'm not doing shit for you either. And I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Now, how about that? You don't have an expectations. He wouldn't have no expectations of me. The only expectation you get to have of me is that I fuck your son good. That's all I do. That's my job. And it better be good too. Because otherwise I'll leave his ass. Now I want you to understand. That's all. That's the only thing I'm here for. Some dick. And he ain't giving it up right. I'm out. Now all this other shit you talking about, I don't, y'all figure that out. I don't have nothing to do with me. And that's what I would tell his daddy and watch his face be like, I, I don't know what to say about these people and doing all this stuff with, doing all this, jumping through all these hoops for these stupid people. Let's move on. Question 20. This is the next to last question of the evening. If you have not hit your subscription button, please hit it now to become a subscriber to the Devsterism channel. We appreciate your support. And hit the like button. And you can also, feel like find a video to share. Do you know that we have 950 videos on this channel now? I was looking at a video the other day where I was saying, "Oh, we have almost 500." I'm like, "Wow, that was a long time ago." So we're going on 1,000 pretty soon. By late summer, it'll be 1,000 videos on this channel. So that's a lot of discussion about relationships, and each one of these videos has all kinds of great information for you. If you can't find it just by scrolling, go to the search, type in whatever keyword you're looking for, like, I don't know, narcissist or uh, cheating or, baby daddy or, whatever it is you're looking for. And all the videos with that in the topic or in the keywords will pop up. And so you'll be able to find stuff from when I started the channel 9 years ago. Okay. So let's move on. Question 20. Female, 30 to 35 from Nottingham, England. Deb, I need advice about how to get my SO to talk about us getting married. I am 35 and my boyfriend is 48. We are both aware that we want a long term commitment with one another. However, when I bring up the idea of having children or getting married, he shuts me down and says things like, "Come on, let's not think too far in the future. And you know it's going to happen, sweetheart. Here's the thing I don't know, and I innocently want some kind of timeline. I'm 35. I'm not going to wait forever for this guy. Any advice on how I can get this conversation started with him that won't spark a fight or him shutting down? I just want a reasonable timeline, or am I being unreasonable? I love the man and I could see spending my life with him, but I need some reassurance. We've been together for a year." Okay, you only been together for a year. That's not that long. Is in your 30s though, your late 30s, that's enough time to, start to make a decision about if this person is the person you want or not. So I'm gonna say this, especially with him being on the downstroke to 50, he's too fucking old. Okay, break this off. Get you somebody who's closer to in their late 30s, maybe 40 at the most. Somebody who can be a daddy and still have the energy, not somebody who's in their 50s by the time you get married and have a kid. That's too fucking old. That's grandpa age, not have an infant age. You ought to know that without me having even to tell you this. He's too fucking old to be somebody's daddy at 48. I mean, he's 48 now. So by the time you got married and had a kid, like I said, he'd be in his early 50s. No, no, that's too old. So what you do, you're saying, how can you get this conversation started? You already started. You said you every time you mention it, he says, let's not think too far in the future, and you know it's gonna happen. You don't know anything. And this is what you tell him. This is if I were you, this is how I'd handle it. I would sit him down, I'd say, look, I am 35 years old. You're almost 50. I want to get married and start having children. You obviously don't. So, what we're going to do is we're going to break up because I don't want to spend my fertile years with a man who's just stalling and trying to put me on hold to keep me around here, use me while he just flirts around and tries to play like he's still young. You are old motherfucker, in case you haven't looked in the mirror lately. And why would I want a baby by somebody on the downstroke to be retired anyway? Get the fuck out. Get out of my life. Get out of my world. I'm getting somebody who's younger, hotter, stronger, and whose sperm is not defective yet, like yours. Get out. That's what I would tell his ass. You know, that's just a bit much. And you just letting him, push you on hold because I mean, when a man, this is something you need to understand. When a man wants you as his wife, he makes moves quick, especially in this age group. Like once a guy's over 35, oh, especially over 40, they see a woman they want, they know that it's right, they start busting moves. They start putting shit in place. They start talking about being married. They some of them even propose. You would already be engaged with by a year by a 40-something-year-old man. He wouldn't be trying to stall you like this. So you need to understand what this means. This is mean he's not thinking about marrying you. Okay? He's not thinking about that. So understand what he's telling you by this, pushing you off with these little platitudes. And you have to be the one because it's your life and your fertility at stake. You have to be the one to take charge of your life. You don't let some man dictate to you what your life is going to be like. You invited him to participate with you and he declined. Okay? Accept that and move on. That's all I'm going to tell you. This old ass fucker sitting up there talking about, well, let's not, you're pushing things. Let's not think too far in the future. Nigga, have you thought about the fact that you're going to be 65 before we blink too hard? That's in the future too. And you talking about do you want to be somebody's daddy? How you gonna wait till you 60? I ain't want your old Benjamin Button ass sperm. Get out of here. These people just be killing me. I just don't. But at 35, I'm sure she's got a professional career and she got some money. So if she wants to be a single mom, there you could go to a sperm bank and get a baby. You don't have to be with a man because quietness is kept. Most of the men, you end up being a single mom, you just married anyway. Or as we heard from a lot of the advice letters over the years, these women living with the man and trying to have this little family unit and stuff, living there, everybody living there together. But the men motherfuckers don't help them. They don't do shit. So they end up being like a single parent anyway. They're just having a man there for financial reasons. But guess what? If you file for child support, you're going to get that same help. And plus, you get a break because you're not just there with them all the time. They take a kid for their weekend and stuff. You get some time free. It's actually better that way. Yeah, be at the grandpa up there looking all gray headed and stupid, talking about this is my child. It's like, nigga, what? You looking like somebody's great grandfather and talking about this is your baby. No wonder that baby look old. The babies be all old and dried up looking, and they don't look fresh and plump like babies that young people have. They be all, wrinkly and stuff. Ugh. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. You're going to have a baby with Alzheimer's or some shit. Baby, come out. I can't remember. Can't remember my ABCs. I just like, okay, I'm acting stupid right now, but you understand what I'm saying. This is a bad idea. He too fucking old. Yeah, girl, they be crispy. Ah, I would clown him so hard. It's just talking about, it's let's not think too far into the future. Motherfucker, you don't have no future to think about. Did you look at a calendar lately and see how old you are? Check out your birth certificate. You know, in 2 years you're gonna be 50. The next big birthday is 60. That's you in grandpa territory, not baby territory. You got about 3 weeks to be somebody daddy before you roll over to senior citizenville. I would have so much fun clowning his ass. It would just be a never-ending laughter. You know, I wish some old ass man would tell me some shit like that. But I don't know. My husband, he was older than me, but he was still only in his 30s. So that was plenty young. Question number 21. This is our final question of Savage Sunday. That's supposed to be Flummox Friday, but it got morphed into today. A female, 30 to 35 from the UK. My husband has recently started coming home later than usual from work. I have asked him occasionally why he's late, and he's mentioned traffic being bad, but our route is via the motorway, and traffic is never that bad. I brushed it off severally. I guess that means several times. However, I have noticed that I've been unsettled about it for the past few days, so I kindly asked, oh, look at that kindly. That means she would say, look, motherfucker. I have asked if he was dropping off anyone after work. In the past, that's most of the problem. The most of the reason he's come late and always tells me, and I have no problem with that. But when I asked yesterday if he was dropping anyone off as a reason for being late, he denied it. I hate to admit this, but I looked up on his devices and realized he's been frequenting the same residential address around the start and finish times for the past 3 months. He's been there as long as an hour or so, but usually 10 or 15 minutes. Of course, this does not sit well with me, as I couldn't fathom why he would lie about it. Now, I have no idea who lives there, but my instinct tells me it's a work colleague whom he's picking up and dropping off. Mind you, he's going out of his way to give these lifts and therefore adding an extra 30 minutes to his commute. I confronted him about it, and he said, I have trust issues. Really? Am I unreasonable to question it? Should I be bothered? Am I overreacting? Oh, I forgot to add that since I confronted him, he's gone and and changed all his passwords on his devices. Definitely shady behavior. What would you do if this were your husband? Oh, I would light his ass up. First of all, I have a crew of friends that we like stirring up shit. Girl, I need you to follow this motherfucker and see where he's going. Girl, don't worry about it. I'm going, and let me get Sheila and Susan on in it too. So we'll tag team him so he won't think we're all supposed one car following him. So they would, they do. Girl, look, we watch way too many detective shows, so we know how to do it. Just like they used to do in Hawaii Five O and the one with the dudes in Florida. The black dude that well, I can't remember the name of that show, but anyway, we know how to do that, right? So one's going to okay, I'm gonna pick up on such and such a street, and then you veer off to the left, and I'll come in from the right. Boom, bam. Okay, so now this new car's following, and we're gonna figure out where these motherfuckers going. And then once we get the address, you can figure out who lives there. You just sit across the street and just watch and see who come in and out, and watch what he does. If there's any kissing a goodbye at the door, and he grinning a little too hard, and all this kind of stuff. Who are you picking up? Yeah, Miami Vice. Thank you. You knew who I was talking about. Yeah, Miami Vice. You know how they used to do that? I used to watch that show because dude on there, what's his name? Philip Michael Thomas. Was that his name? He was cute. But I'm like, I would find out. You don't ask me in this. You just look at him. You just say, oh, okay. And then you already saw where he was going because you got the address. But that's not even, you don't even have to worry about that because you sick your friends on him. You hook up 3 friends, and probably more of them want to be in on it because everybody want a piece of his ass. And they will follow him and see where he's going and then report back. Better yet, all of us gonna get together. We gonna go to the bitch's house and be like, yeah. As soon as he come out, we gonna be standing there like, yeah, nigga, what? Now what you talking about? That you wasn't doing nothing. Guess what? The next time I see you, we gonna be in divorce court. So be prepared to pay. I hope this pussy was worth it. And that's what I would do to him. And he would have nothing because we would have pictures and we would have, the logs and we'd have videos of, following him to the person's house and them in the car together. So there's no way he could say that he wasn't cheating or doing something. And then now the mystery thing is, that's right, Harpo. The mystery part is he seeing a man or a woman? These days you just don't know. You have to be, That's part of the thing, Or is it a trans person he's all fixated? We just don't know. So we're going to have to do a little research. But whatever it is, it's not going to be the situation where we have this husband and father in the house with us. You gone, sir. I'm trying to tell you, honey, my friends, I tell you, it's good to have friends. It's good to have friends. It's good to have friends that's as messy and just as much like a much shit as you do. And we could just start all kind of shit with dude. He would be sad. Then I'll tell his mother. I'll tell all his family, his brothers, his sisters. I'll tell his boss. I'll tell everybody. Like, look at your lying, cheating motherfucker that you got here. And this is why we're getting a divorce. And so don't let him tell you it's something that I did. Because here go the video of him cheating. This is the bitch he's cheating with. Or the man he's cheating with. Or the tranny person he's cheating, whatever it is. This is it, the person right here. This is where they live at. Okay? And so, whatever lie he come telling you, make sure you understand that this is what the real deal is right here. All right. Yeah, a lot of them they will start arguments unapologetic. They start arguments on purpose. Because see, then that gives them a reason, the justification to storm out the house and go do what it was they really wanted to do anyway. That's an old game. A lot of them do that shit. But that's why I don't argue. I don't argue. I just say, okay, this is the deal. And so then they like, well, I'm leaving. Okay, what? Wait, take your shit with you when you go, cause I know what this. Don't think I'm stupid. Take all your shit when you go, because if you don't, when you come back, the locks are gonna be changed, and your shit's gonna be sitting outdoors, outdoors, and I won't care who helps himself to it. So, keep that in mind because, this is my shit up in here and you want to be somewhere else. So that means this is nothing for you at this residence anymore. So I don't know. I just don't want to argue with men about anything. I'm going to say what I got to say and then I'm done with it. You don't have to agree, but it doesn't matter if you agree or not because what I say goes. And if I say that I don't want to deal with somebody who's dipping and dodging and doing suspicious stuff, then I'm not going to do that. And if I tell you to get your shit and get the fuck out, then that's what you need to do. Yeah, it's El Rapo, El Rapo, and that's it. It's over. But that's what you mean it's not safe? Everything is safe because I have Roscoe. Me and Roscoe is best friends. I don't have no problem ventilating somebody. I'm a better shot than all three of my brothers. I will shoot you and won't give it a second fucking thought. So, don't get jiggy. Just do what I told you. Get the fuck out. That's what you need to do. Either you're going to leave on a stretcher or you're going to leave on your 2 feet, but you getting the fuck out of my house. That's the way it is. If I say it, then you better get to moving. Okay? I'm giving you a chance to get your shit. Don't have me putting it outside on the curb, dousing it with lighter fluid and setting it on fire like girlfriend did in that movie. Angela Bassett, she had her a fucking bonfire in dude's Porsche. I was like, this bitch is savage as hell. I'll never forget that scene. I'm like, damn, who do I know that I can just light they shit up like that? I was just like, that was just so fucking fabulous. And then that scene she did at the end where she was like, and walking back in the house, I was like, get it, girl. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, the worst that happen is you'll be ventilated and you'll be in a wheelchair. Okay, you be in a wheelchair. The people that have their head supported and they can't move, they moving a little thing and they just doing like this and they just looking at you. And he'd be mad. He'd be mad forever while he was in that wheelchair. Because I will fuck you up and shoot you right in the spine. So now you could be mad, but guess what? You're going to be trying to chase me or something and I'll be running and you be wheeling after me and I'll be dipping and dodging and you will never catch me. And that'll be all your fault. You should have left me alone. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's all that's gonna happen. But anyway, I'm being just really crazy today. It's just like we'll be back in just the day after tomorrow on Tuesday with What the Fuck Tuesday. We'll be doing this all over again. And I repeat, if you have a question that you would like to have submitted to the column, we got another show on Tuesday and another one on Friday. So please send your question in. You can find the link to do so in the show description down below. Just click it and fill out the form, send it in, and Candace will review them and decide if it's good enough to be in the column. I don't decide. I don't see the letters until we start to show. So she reviews all the submissions and she picks and puts them in a certain order. I don't know how she decides, but it's all on her. I gave her, that's I don't have nothing to do with it. All I do is read the questions and then answer them, and that's my job. So you guys, let me see here. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's about it. That's what we got coming up. Send your questions in. We got Dusty News Network coming up in a couple of weeks. It's going to start the second week Friday in June. So send in your memes and stuff to survivingdating@gmail.com. Make the subject line DNN or Dusty News. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye bye.